We're supporting those.
Call the Honourable Leanne Dalzell.
Mr Chairman, I do want to take another call because there have been a number of comments made that I wish to respond to, but I also want to pick up where I left off with respect to the public health message that we would want to be having here. And I was making the point that in some jurisdictions there have been cases taken where Big Tobacco have argued that they have the right to advertise under the Bill of Rights freedom of expression because advertising a legal product is a matter of freedom of speech. Well, I reject that because I think that there are times when freedoms have to be subservient to the greater public good, and the public good is what health promotion is all about. And I use the example of manufacturers of a perfectly legal product, which are baby bottles, and baby bottle manufacturers and their suppliers have taken a deliberate decision not to advertise their products on television, not because their product is illegal, but because their product undermines the public health message, which is to promote breastfeeding. And that's the only reason they don't advertise on television. It isn't something that they have to do. It's something that they choose to do because they are behaving in a responsible way. And I believe that all organisations that are involved in the sale and supply of a product which causes significant cost to the country, let alone the human cost, on top of the financial cost, I believe that there is a responsibility to take a responsible attitude towards it. I've made the point that this is something that the public of New Zealand want, but I think we should remember a few things about the alcohol industry. One is that they spend millions of dollars annually on alcohol advertising, and I just want to quote from a couple of the submissions to the report. The ads promote alcohol consumption and associate drinking with having fun, partying, confidence, success, sophistication and desirability. The ads normalise drinking and sustain our current drinking culture. The aggressive marketing of alcohol is a huge driver of the heavy drinking culture, with its clever and sometimes witty advertising creating a false impression and seeking to promote the sale of alcohol whilst totally ignoring the dangers of this drug. The advertising of alcohol should be severely reduced in New Zealand, and it should not be allowed without a warning regarding the dangers. Mr Chairman, those examples go on, but here's the response from the producers, the retailers, the broadcasters and the people involved in regulation. The purpose of liquor advertising is to influence brand choice, not to increase per occasion or total consumption. We just saw a young man miss out on a trip to the UK that he won as a result of the multiple entries into a competition that he applied for, on the basis that the more often he applied for it, the better his chances were of being drawn. And hey, guess what? He was drawn, but they wouldn't give him the prize. And actually, I agree with them for not giving him the prize. They should have actually been quite upfront from the start, saying that if you've been convicted of an alcohol-related offence, then you're not the sort of person that we're going to give this trip to, because of course it involved buying alcohol. And to advertise a prize on the basis that the more you buy, the more likely you are to get a prize, I mean, how is that a responsible campaign? And how is that just about brand consumption? Mr Chairman, they say it's no different to the advertising of, say, shampoo. Well, yes, alcohol and shampoo, I can see an immediate similarity, but the advertising is not to encourage people to wash their hair more often, but rather to choose one brand over another. They say, we have no commercial interest in marketing our products to people who are not legally able to buy them, i.e. people under 18 years of age. Well, I just want to use an alcohol advertising slogan to respond to that and say, yeah, right. I mean, if you look at the ads on TV, they are marketing to a younger culture all the time. That is what the ads are about. They are supposedly ads that are minimising the risks that alcohol is involved in. And actually, I was just thinking of the Mr. Chairman.
Dr. Camcorder.
Mr. Chairman.
I move the question be now put.
Mr. Chairman.
I'll call the Honourable Leanne Dalzell.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. And I just wanted to mention a particular brand of alcohol, and now I can't remember the name of it, but it comes in a can, and it's something to do with Woodstock, because the advertisement talks about whether it was okay if your friend's mother gave you a woody. Am I getting this right? And are we all actually slightly revolted by what I just said, because there is an implication of sexuality around that, which it is designed to do, because the advertisement stops, everything is frozen, freeze-framed, in order to make the point that this is okay to have on our televisions, but it's okay. That's got through the self-regulatory thing. And they say we never encourage rapid, excessive or irresponsible consumption in any of our marketing or promotions. Well, I'm sorry, but whenever one looks at the advertising that is on television, we see those very direct linkages to sexuality, to good times, to actually not being able to have a good time without having alcohol involved. And I think all of us have at different times got ourselves involved in the Feb Fast campaign, where we take a month off drinking. Some haven't done that, but some think it's unpatriotic. That's fine. But I've certainly done that, and I know others in the House have done that as well. But what struck me the first time that I got involved in that campaign was the number of occasions where I said, I'm not drinking this month, and the people who said, but, you know, we'll have one anyway, or we'll buy you a night off, when they realised that there was a buyout provision in the campaign. And I just think that we have got ourselves into a habit of drinking on all sorts of occasions, when in fact those are not necessary in order to achieve the purposes of the occasion. And I think that this link between drinking and advertising and sponsorship is compelling, particularly with regard to young people, and that was the finding of the Law Commission. They've looked at the evidence. I don't think the jury is still out on this, and I think that there are indeed some self-interested people in the industry, and that's not just the liquor industry. People have to remember that it's the advertisers and it is the media who are dependent on the alcohol advertising dollar who will in fact try to push public opinion in a particular way. But no matter how much they push it, the public want to see change. And I don't know how anyone in this House can vote against some of the amendments that we are considering here today. All of them pick up a gradual move towards change that the public have been demanding for some time. We have never had the, I think, courage to look at the Loire Vin, which is operating in France, and of course the Law Commission said that that is a long way from where they think we could be. But that was passed in 1991, and despite the many challenges that have been brought against that law, which allows for no advertising targeted at young people, no advertising in television or in cinemas, no sponsorship of cultural or sports events, and advertising permitted only in the press for adults on billboards or radio channels under very precise conditions. Its content is very controlled, and this has worked. A health message is included on each advertisement to the effect that alcohol abuse is dangerous for health. It should go without saying, but it's actually dangerous to the purse of the New Zealand taxpayer. I don't know why people don't understand that for every person that takes up a hospital bed as a result of a crash caused by a drunken driver, that's somebody who's not getting an elective surgery. And for every person that can't get the police officer to come because they've had a burglary, because they're in town dealing with a fight that's broken out in the early hours of the morning. That's because of the alcohol-fuelled harm. And I can't see why the people of New Zealand can't see that you can't have it both ways. You can't have a totally free and a free-for-all in all of these areas, have alcohol advertising to the extent that it does dominate public opinion. I think it's time for real change in this House.
Members, we come to the vote on the three amendments. The first amendment, in the name of Te Ura Flavel, is proposing new Part 2A and new Clause 58A relating to advertising and sponsorship as set out on SOP number 81. The question is that the amendments be agreed to. Those of that opinion will say aye. To the contrary, no. No. The noes have it. Noes have it. Party votes called for. I'll ask the clerk for a party vote.
New Zealand National.
59 votes opposed.
New Zealand Labour.
26 in favour, 7 opposed.
Green Party.
14 votes in favour.
New Zealand First.
8 votes opposed.
Māori Party. Could you ask them to repeat it, please?
Could I just ask the member to repeat, please?
Toko toru e tautoko ana.
Mana.
Vote in favour.
Act New Zealand.
1 vote opposed.
United Future.
1 vote opposed.
Members, the ayes are 44, the noes are 66. The amendments are not agreed to. The next amendment, in the name of Annelise Galloway, proposes new to Part A and new Clause 220 relating to advertising, and proposing new Part 7 establishing an alcohol advertising reform committee as set out on SOP number 91. The question is that the amendments be agreed to. Those of that opinion will say aye. To the contrary, no. The noes have it. Is that party votes called for? I'll ask the clerk for a party vote.
New Zealand National.
59 votes opposed.
New Zealand Labour.
30 votes in favour, 3 opposed.
Green Party.
14 votes in favour.
New Zealand First.
8 votes in favour.
Māori Party.
3 votes in favour.
Mana.
1 vote in favour.
Act New Zealand.
1 vote opposed.
United Future.
1 vote opposed.
Any other votes?
Members, the ayes are 56, the noes are 64. The amendments are not agreed to. The next amendment, in the name of Dr David Clark, proposes new Clause 220A, imposing a ban on television and radio advertising as set out on SOP number 115. The question is that the amendment be agreed to. Those of that opinion will say aye. To the contrary, no. The noes have it. Party votes called for. I'll ask the clerk for a party vote.
New Zealand National.
59 votes opposed.
New Zealand Labour.
30 votes in favour, 3 votes opposed.
Green Party.
14 votes in favour.
New Zealand First.
8 votes opposed.
Māori Party.
3 votes in favour.
Mana.
1 vote in favour.
ACT New Zealand.
1 vote opposed.
United Future.
1 vote opposed.
Any other votes?
Members, the ayes are 48, the noes are 72. The amendment is not agreed to. We now move to part 3. This is debate on clauses 12 to 284. I'll just explain.